Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike. It is Wednesday, the 26th of February. This is your morning setups. So here we are. We are actually up a little bit now. We were all over the place the last night. We were up, then we came down. We were down over 200 on the Dow, and now we're just going green here again and kind of waffling around this area. I did a special video for you guys last night. Take a second, watch it. Just trying to give you some overall thoughts. Part of the process on markets is, when this happens, is figuring out what to do and how to respond. And at this point, the best thing to do, if you weren't short-minded, I wasn't very short-minded, was to stand out of the way and wait. This could be a longer-term event. We have a lot of news, a lot of headlines. You kind of have to see how this is going to play out now. But bottom line is we've had a big event. We've had a big sell-off. You can start to label this a black swan event if you'd like, right? All the way from 339 or down about 8% on the SPY down to 312. We actually hit 309 pre-market, right? You can see it here. And now we'll see if we can get some kind of relief rally. And that's what I'm going to call looking for here is a relief rally. We're going to go over why. So on the economic front today, what do we have going on? We have mortgage applications, we have new home sales, we have the petroleum report, and a couple more Fed governors running their mouth. And people may start looking to them for clues if they're going to do a rate cut to help everything out. So just keep that in mind. All right, so you can see Beyond Meat, by the way, already moving here. They have news they're going to get to Starbucks stores. I think Starbucks is going to do a trial with them of some type, so that's why Beyond Meat's moving. It does have earnings tomorrow night, just be aware. All right, to the ES, and let's just go into this and nice and easy here. And first of all, on the 5-minute chart, you can see the 5-minute chart from yesterday, right? You can see the nice up move. We're up, 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 up. We were green, green, green. We had this big sell-off starting at 3 o'clock as Europe came online and China was selling off. Then we put a bottom here at 3091. You can see that reversal candle right there. And now we're back up. And here we are trying to fight through this area. Actually, it's the 200 EMA on the 5-minute chart. When you look at the ES, you can say, okay, Mike, well, we said we should get follow through. Well, we did. So when you look at last night and the SPY closing on the lows, we got follow through to the downside. The follow through is in the overnight. Whether or not we revisit that here today or tonight during the day or not is to be determined. But we did get follow through, and now the market's turning around and coming green. You can see the tail here developing on the ES. Bouncing back, here's the bottom of the Bollinger Band, here's the 100-day, trying to get into this area already. So you can see this big move down, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, here's your 5th day. Big move. In 5 days, we went from an all-time high down to 309, down almost over about 9%. Big, big move down here in the markets. Crude not helping, right? Crude's cheap, but oil's selling off, energy stocks selling off, and they're really looking for a bounce here. Everybody keeps looking here for a bounce, and I'm like, I don't see it, not with the news, not with what's going on. Again, look at the news, look what's going on. South Korea numbers are exploding overnight. Italy numbers seem to be exploding as well, and they're not just the problem with Italy. This is not just contained now to Lombardy and the Milan area. It's now showing up in all the provinces south of there, even into Sicily. It's spreading into Spain. We're getting first report in Greece. Iran, something doesn't make sense what's going on over there. They're reporting 97 cases with 15 fatalities. That puts the mortality rate up over 15%, where it's 2% elsewhere or less. So, a lot of things that don't make sense here. And you're seeing a lot of countries around Iran now getting it from people who have traveled there. So it's just suggesting this might be much worse than it is. Okay, and I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to give you the information so you understand what's driving the markets here. Meanwhile, here in the United States, things remain relatively calm at this point. So CL down. Bonds. Big move up yesterday coming down. We'll see. If the bonds come in, the markets will probably get a relief rally. You could watch bonds for clues. You want to watch this down and see if it gets picked up around the 165 area if you want to try it long. Gold was the weird one yesterday. This is the head scratcher. When the market's selling off, gold sold off yesterday. People couldn't figure this out. And maybe it's just because it's already run a ton. And I think that's what people sometimes forget. Gold had this big move run here, right? This big, big run up, got a topping candle and came in. Maybe they'll reload down here around the 1628, 60 area, 1630 area as it moves forward. What else is going on out there? VIX yesterday. Couldn't take out yesterday, put the topping candle in around 30. Here you are a little bit down today. Keep an eye on it. The VIX stays above 22. Fear's game is still on, right? That's the idea here. 22 is now established as the place it wants to hold in. And our HYG got slaughtered yesterday. Okay, this usually leads. So yesterday it led down, it sliced through the 100-day, suggesting to me that the SPY may try to go lower. Now it's done this before, right? It's done this a couple times, HYG, but this was a big dump here. So bottom line is the markets got rocked yesterday. We've been rocked for the last 5 days in a row, but I will tell you reasons why I think we could get a bounce here today. So let's start off with sentiment, and this is huge. Sentiment to me is always a great indicator, and lately hasn't been working so well because we've been so stubborn. We're finally getting the move we're looking for. So the oscillator, this is the NYMOT. This tracks the New York Stock Exchange. Neutral 0, slightly overbought is 100, big time overbought is 200. Same thing, oversold 100, big time oversold 200. We hit negative 285 yesterday. To put this in perspective, the last time we did this was in December of 2018. You can see that big rip-roaring bounce we got off of that. So something to watch here. Not saying we're going to get this again, but something to watch. The markets got extremely oversold back then. We've been struggling since then to get a good signal. The NASDAQ, which is the NYMOT, take a look at this one. Okay. Negative 250. We got a little bit worse last time, down to 300. So again, starting to get that really strong signal, but we've struggled to get an oversold signal like this. So this is the first time we've had an oversold signal like this in a long time. Then there's the put to call. The put to call, I use as a counter indicator for the markets, a counter trend. When it's too bulled up, I usually say the market's too bullish, you do for a sentiment flush, and when it's too bearish, you look for a sentiment flush back up. For the last couple of months, we've been stubbornly stuck up in this bull zone like we've never seen. Usually when you get up, you see here, you get up into the bull zone, you get up for a day, and then you shoot right back down, right? You get that quick sentiment flush. Up here, this market was so passive. It was so afraid. It was just happy to sit here bulled up. Didn't care. Finally, we got our flush. Here is yesterday. Now bring this down into here. Again, you look what's going on for this year. We got a ways to go, but we can come down further. But you can look at this a long way we could move down. If you want to open this up, put this in perspective, 2 years out, here's your December low, okay? So you can see we could drop more, but this is starting to get a very good signal. This is a place to look for a bounce. Lastly, our breadth indicator, this has not been working so well the last week or so, the trade around market. If you're following this is saying the market has more downside, but the market may have given us the downside at once here right now. Bottom line is the markets here have come a long way in a short time. We're currently trading at 313 this morning on the SPY. When you look at it on a daily chart, put things in perspective, 305 is a 10% pullback. We're below the 100-day. We're out of the Bollinger Band here. We're very extended now off the 8-day and the 21-day, and the 200-day is sitting down here at 304. What are we looking for today? Well, first off, when I look at this chart, I see an area of support that comes in right around 302 to 304. 304 is the 200-day, 302 is where we broke out from. So if you break to the downside and we get another hard flush, that's the area I would look for a major bounce. First touch of that 200-day should be well defended. Why do I say that? Look at what happened back here when we came to the 200-day. Look what happened here when we came to the 200-day. You know, and here we just got it on the ES. We missed it on the SPY. So keep an eye on it. So that would be defended. That's an area I would think we definitely bounce. If today they want to play games, you look for reversals. You take it level by level. First level is you take back the 100-day here at 317. Then you look for just a reversion back into the Bollinger Band, wherever that's going to set up. And then you start looking for a retracement. I went over with you guys last night. A 50% of retracement of this move would be up to about the 325 area, right? From 339 down to the 312, the 312 area. Okay, that'll be about a 50% retracement of that move. All right, there's that gap above there. Then if you get there and you fail, you look for a possible H-cell pattern setup. An H-cell pattern looks like a lowercase h, and you slowly roll over and push down. Again, level by level, see where they want today. There's a lot of room for this market to the upside today if it wants to take it. We saw yesterday capitulation volume. What do I mean by that? Look at the volume profile on the SPY. Here you go, 1 year. Look at this here. For the last year, when was the last time you saw volume like this? You want to see it? Open up your time frames. You got to go looking at this stuff. Look at the time frames. The last time we had volume like this, December 2018, right? And then back here also in October on these sell-offs. So you want to compare. Oh, look at these big candles. Yep, that's about right. That looks similar, right? That looks really kind of eerily similar, right? Yep, another big one here. And yep, that, right? That was just, right? Remember that rollover and the fear, the absolute panic. We're going down. I remember Gundelock, Jeffrey Gundelock. We're going 20% lower from here. Great call, Jeff. Um, you know, people like to come out. Bears will be coming out of the woodwork here screaming, everybody out there. But bottom line is this was capitulation volume for the first time. Could we get more? Yes. But this is the type of volume you need to find market bottoms, or at least find places they want to buy. So the market's going to turn on two things. Again, two things are going to be very, very simple. It's going to turn on either the news abates and we have control of this virus and the fear starts to pass, or stocks get to a point where they're too cheap that people just can't resist buying. Okay. Even if we're transitioning into a bear market, and I'm not there yet, I am nowhere near there yet, there will be bounces. If you go back and you look at the dot-com bust, there was wicked yanks like this before we went higher. So just keep that in mind. Besides, the Fed still has tools in their arsenal. All right, so where does that bring us to today? So we talked about the SPYs, and we look at individual names. And for me today, I'm going to focus on names that can outperform. Okay, why names that can outperform? Well, let's just open this up for a minute. Microsoft. Why am I looking hard at Microsoft here? Because yesterday it outperformed, it held the 50-day, and you can see here it's already trying to bounce up, leading a little bit today. So if I want to name Microsoft, will be one of the names I focus on. Again, focusing on the daily chart and the 5-minute here. Led. Apple this morning trying to lead. One of the first names to bounce actually took its opening morning gap back, okay, showing a little strength. We'll keep an eye on that, but didn't hold in here. So I want to focus on names that are strong, focus on names that can move. And that's what you're going to be looking for today. NVIDIA, another name that can move, another name to keep an eye on here. Pushed up, already filled its morning gap, so keep an eye on this one showing some relative strength. Roku yesterday showed some strength. Name is scary. The chart is broken, right? You look at this chart's broken. You got a reversion off the 108 area back into the Bollinger Band. But yesterday, when the market was still selling off yesterday afternoon, it was rallying into the close. It was strong all late afternoon. You can see the character change here that took place around 2:30. It's been beaten up. Maybe they want to buy it back here. It is definitely a name that is good. If the virus spreads around, you'll see more people going there. What else out there today? These are some ideas. Starbucks announced they're doing a deal with Beyond Meat. Maybe that gets a little bit of a pop. Again, beaten up. McDonald's has been a strong name holding in. Another name I wouldn't be afraid to try if the market wants to give some bounces today. Bottom line is it's pick names you like. A couple things to think about here. One is that the VIX elevated. That means IV on options are elevated. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you look at Microsoft here, you see that the IV is up around 59%. It's higher than normal, probably about, not quite double, but probably about 35, about 40, 50% higher. Amazon may be clear, easy to see. Yeah, Amazon's usually around 29%, so they're running at 55%. That means when you trade way out of the money options, so if you like Microsoft and you think it's going to run, you say, I'm going to get the 180s here. Well, the decay and the implied volatility, if the VIX starts coming in, drain, may not be enough to make it work. You're going to have to stick closer to the money. So on Microsoft today, I wouldn't go more than one strike out of the money. So if you would, don't want to pay the 170s, the 172.50s, depending on where it's at when you buy it. Just throwing some ideas in there for you. Keep this in mind. Things could get a little crazy real quick. You can keep an eye on a name like Square. Square earnings are tonight. They may try to rally this name into earnings tonight, so keep that in mind. You could also watch a name like Home Depot, which had good earnings yesterday but got caught up in the sell-off. And that's the other thing. Focus on names that had good earnings. Chances are those are the ones that are going to come back the fastest. Those will be the first ones they're going to go to as this market tries to bounce. So bottom line, just my thoughts for today. I hope it helps you guys. Everybody have a great day trading. It goes for my subscribers. I'll be live in my room from 9 till 12, 3 to 4, rooms open all day. Have a great day trading, guys. Remember, this market, if you're not sure, cash is the position. Wait for the action you like. See what the market wants to do here. It's going to get choppy. They're going to try to whip you out as well. Catch you guys all in a bit.